Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So as you can see, I'm in the mountains. It was supposed to be a nice day, nice sunny warm day. It is actually relatively mild temperatures, so that's good, but as you can see, that's actually rain heading my direction. The weather is never what it's predicted to be. The forecast changed completely overnight, so when I woke up this morning, my expectations for this camp changed pretty drastically. I don't know if I'll get any nice sunsets or sunrises, but I'm doing it anyway. We'll deal with the weather if it comes. I don't think it's supposed to be too bad, but there are supposed to be clouds pretty much all day, and there will be some scattered showers, which makes sense. It's July, but good to be back in the mountains, and hopefully it'll be a nice trip. It's good hiking. Gotta go ahead and stop, get a bag to cover the nice camera, and get my waterproof jacket out until this shower passes. Didn't expect to be doing this so soon, but it is what it is. Not even remotely what I was hoping for. Just once. I would love the forecast when it says it's gonna be sunny and warm to be sunny and warm. Oh well. Hopefully it clears up. I went ahead, put on my waterproof trousers as well, because it's a bit more than a drizzle now. And I've just started the hike. All right, I'm gonna keep quiet and just keep hiking. I'll get back with you guys and we can start to see where we're heading today. All right, it looks like the first shower passed, but there are still some off in the distance there. Hopefully they stay that way. Once I'm confident that's not coming to me, I'm gonna go ahead and take these waterproof trousers off. It's the only problem with it being warm and raining. It's almost not even worth it to put them on just because you sweat so much. Almost better to just let it get wet and dry out if you have quick drying clothing. Much better. It's okay. Over halfway now, kind of on a flatbed at the moment, and then we'll be heading up again. Once we get over this little hill, we'll be heading up onto the ridge and then start hiking to the destination for tonight, or where I think the destination will be for tonight. I brought my lightweight tent with me. It's a single pole tunnel tent, so it can handle some wind, but because of its design, it can be a little flappy. So I am going to need to look for a suitable spot to pitch it with a little bit of shelter from the wind, just so I don't have to listen to the flapping the entire night. Because I think around 10 p.m. The winds are supposed to pick up a bit. Keep in mind, yesterday, the forecast was no wind and sunny skies, so who knows what the weather will be like, but I am gonna find a sheltered spot. Not that you'd be able to tell, but I'm approaching the summit. I know there's a lot of debate on whether or not people should leave these cairns, but in an area like this, especially on this ridge, when the trail disappears, you're just basically hopping boulders. It's really useful to have those to kind of keep a bearing when there's no visibility. Still got a little bit of a trail, but it will disappear pretty soon, and those will come in handy because you can see them from a distance. Can't believe I thought I was going to get a sunset. Not getting anything. Wouldn't want to fall there. So beautiful up here. Once we get to the top of this, I should be able to see where I'm going. There it is. It's probably hard to see on the GoPro, but there's a tiny little tarn right there, that speck off in the distance. That's where we're headed. I walked by it before and it seemed like a pretty sheltered spot. I'm hoping that'll provide I'm hoping that'll provide enough wind shelter for the tent so I can get a good night's sleep. Once we get there, we'll see, and if not, we'll look elsewhere. Last climb. Just up the top of this is where I'm pitching. Looks like we might have another rain shower coming. Been pretty lucky. Only had two. One you saw, the other you didn't. I just kept my head down and kept going. All right, here we are. So, it's a tiny little thing. I don't even know if you would consider this a tarn, but previously it was sheltered from the wind. I don't know about today. Looks a little boggy as well. But wow, does it have a great view. May have to go to plan B here. It's a nice little spot though. I decided to move on. It's just too windy. I'm just looking around. There's lots of little dips and areas where I might be able to find a sheltered enough spot for the night. I'll get back with you when I do. I've made my way a little bit further than I was planning to today, but the winds are a lot calmer here. So I'm gonna take a look around just to see if I can find a spot as calm as this, because this would be nice. Just not having to worry about the wind at all and the noise. So almost there, but this is looking promising. All right, I think I found a spot. So the winds have seemed to die down a little bit, which is good. So I'm kind of in an exposed area. I'll show you in just a second. So I prioritized getting a nice view over seeking shelter, which hopefully won't be a problem. But the updated forecast does say that the winds are not going to get worse than this. We'll see if that's the case. So I'm going to pitch here. I'm actually pleasantly surprised. The winds have calmed down a lot. This is like the original forecast, actually. Don't know what changed, but I'm happy about it. All right, it is supposed to get a little windy. I mean, it was supposed to get a little windy in the night, so I'm gonna go ahead. I have the extra guy lines attached, so I'm gonna go ahead and do those as well, just in case. Really happy I kept looking for a spot. Look at that view. Absolutely fantastic. Got Bowfell, Scotfell Range. I love how quick this tent is to pitch. It's so fast. It may not be the strongest in the wind, but it's still pretty rock solid once you get it pitched. That's home for the night. Really great spot. Looks like, I don't know if it was campers or farmers at one point. Maybe built this for sheep or something, but there's no other really remnants of rocks or anything. But little rock wall. Wind's not coming from that direction, so it's not going to do much good, but I'm in a kind of a little dip here, so got a tiny bit of cover, but I'm pretty much exposed to the west. Really happy with this pitch. All right, time to get in the tent, get settled in a little bit, and then actually it'll be time to start dinner because I spent probably an hour and a half just looking for a spot I would be happy with. Let's get unpacked. Look at that view. Oh my goodness. Now that's some view from the tent right here. All right, before we get settled in too much and start cooking dinner, I do need to go get some water just so I don't have to make the trip later. Could not be happier with that spot. I did a camp actually last year in July, I want to say. I'll link that up here. The weather was terrible. It's nice to actually be able to camp and get that view finally. All right, so here's the tarn. Just gotta get some water. Sometimes get questions about the water, drinking the water. So I use the Be-Free filter. So the filter is actually built into the cap. So when you squeeze the water out, it's filtered. Gosh. So thrilled with this spot. It's just such a pretty area. Be nice if I could get a sunset. Don't think it's gonna happen though. Such a nice spot. I feel like I got really lucky with the weather. Had that rain in the beginning, but other than that, the skies are relatively clear. It's overcast and cloudy, but at least, you know, I can see all the peaks, which is all I want. All right, time to start cooking. All right, so today for dinner, I'm gonna be making sweet ginger salmon with some asparagus over rice. Should be good. Oh, it's actually starting to sprinkle a little bit. And I have to close the door.
to sprinkle a little bit. The vent from the top. Just to save a bit of time, I'm using packet rice. guys I don't actually know what to call it. Sometimes I call it my sweet ginger salmon, ginger garlic salmon. If you follow me on Instagram, I've actually made this before. I've changed a little bit over time, but I finally think I've perfected it, and it's so easy to make, and I finished it just in time for the sunset. So I might get my sit pad and just enjoy the last of the light. Well, this night couldn't have turned out any better. Look at this, the rain stopped. This view is unreal. I have one beer tonight, Vocation Special Edition. Cheers, guys. Ooh, that's good. This is such a good dish. Alright. I'm gonna eat this, and I'll get back with you guys in a little bit. Alright guys, dinner's done. The light is fading quickly. There's still a little bit of light outside, but it is past 10 o'clock. So I think I'm going to go ahead. I got the sleep stuff out. I'm going to go ahead and set up the bed and try to lay down and relax a little bit. I'm going to wake up early tomorrow, so I do need to get to bed pretty soon. A while since I've used this pad. This is Old Faithful. I've had this for many years. I've been using the extreme version a lot lately, but it's not going to be cold tonight, so figured I'd save a little weight. Although this tent is significantly tighter than my other tents, there's definitely still a ton of decent space, especially with the vestibule being so large. It allows you to really kind of spread out, which is nice. Alright guys, bed's all set up. It is now 10:40. I just made myself a tea. I think I'm going to just enjoy that, read my book for a little bit, and then head to bed. Even though the weather completely changed from the previous forecast the other day, didn't get any sun, and I've pretty much lost all visibility for at least half of the hike. It still ended up clearing up and the winds died down, which is awesome because I was able to hike a little bit further and get to a spot I've been wanting to actually camp at with that incredible view. So really happy about this one. So as I said, I'm just going to enjoy my tea, read my book, and head to bed. So I'll catch you guys in the morning. Good night.
morning. It's so quiet. It's such a nice evening. It rained for a couple hours there as I was hanging out and going to bed in the tent. Yeah, I had a really nice sleep when I actually could sleep. Unfortunately, this pad, which I've had probably for 6 years or more, finally gave out on me. It sprung a leak somewhere. It must be extremely tiny though, because it would slowly deflate, so I'd have to fill it up every hour, which was no fun. But when I could sleep, it was nice because it was really a quiet night. It's 5:03 now, so I'm going to go ahead and get up. As you can see, it's extremely light out already. It was light starting around, I want to say 4 o'clock. I didn't even need the light in the tent. In any case, time to get up, make coffee. No fun having to get up every hour. I am curious to get home though and figure out where the leak is.
What a nice morning.
Nothing fancy this morning. I ran out of my coffee bags, so I'm just using instant. Definitely not a bad spot to have your morning coffee.
Got really lucky. Winds have been pretty calm, no more rain. Awesome camp. Aside from the sleeping pad. Alright, time to pack up. Inside of the tent dried up, having the door open, which is good. For people who like gas stoves, it really is hard to beat a system like this. It just works. It's so compact. All the guy lines and stuff, once I dry off the tent at home, I re-tie them neatly. So quick to pitch and take down. Love this thing. Only 2 pounds, 10 ounces, all in with the pegs, pole, and everything, except the footprint. The footprint's a little bit extra, but I always carry that just because it adds space. I'm not sure what the weight is with the footprint, but still, super light, very capable tent. Just wish I get to use it a bit more. We don't really have summers here, but it was perfect for a night like last night. Just show you how I quickly pack everything. I have the drone, and my Delta pegs in here. I'll either put my waterproof jacket in here or in the top, which I'll do this time, and just put my kind of camera bag in there. I already put my sleeping bag and everything at the bottom. This just goes along the side here, like so. Typically always put my poles on the side as well. Sleeping pad, pillow, and then Jetboil. Fry pan, food bag, which is a lot lighter now. That's it. And then my sit pad just goes strapped on the front here. All right, leave no trace as always. One last look at that view. Absolutely fantastic spot. Great views all around. Really happy with how this turned out. Came so far down yesterday. What a view. Just behind that boulder off in the distance. But now I have to go up quite a ways to get back on trail. All in all, yesterday's hike, I don't think I mentioned it, it was around 4 miles. Not too bad, especially
for summer when you have plenty of daylight. So I wasn't pressed for time too much. As you saw, I was easily able to cook with the light. All right, it's a bit rocky. I'm just gonna get my head down, get back to the top. Oh, I am sufficiently burning up now. Much better. It's nice, it's clear. I can actually give you guys an idea of the terrain we were crossing. So those 3 tarns out there, we were just down from that last night. Stunning location. I really like hiking this route. So, can't see it yet, but we have a few peaks like this one up here. Kind of just go up and down until we get to the last one. Once we get there, we should be able to see off in the distance where I parked the car, and that's probably where I'll say goodbye to you guys. This is what I was talking about. So we got to go up and over, up and over, up and over, and then down. It's nice though because it gives you a little bit of hike on the way back as well. Unlike a lot of the camps I do where I'm pretty much just going down the entire time. Going back this way, you get to go up and down a little bit. Definitely windier over here than it was where we camped last night, which is interesting because usually that pass that I was in is the place that's usually quite a bit windier. That's usually with a westerly. Last night it was a southwest wind. So look at this lone cloud in the valley with the rays of light. Super cool. That's where I was originally planning to pitch yesterday. Definitely had a pretty epic view from over here as well. And actually off in the distance, that tarn, just past that is where we parked in the pass there. So got to go up and over this and then down and around to it. Really nice hike this, with some excellent views as you can see. Whew. Working up a sweat. Admittedly, I'm a little winded. I didn't share this with you guys, but one of the reasons why I wanted to try to go a little lighter on this trip is because about 2 weeks ago, I was taken to the ER because, well, it started as a pain in my right side, my kidney basically, and that pain skyrocketed pretty quickly, and I started basically vomiting uncontrollably. And yeah, I mean, I've broken bones before, but I gotta say that the pain in my back was probably one of the worst things I've ever felt. In any case, my wife took me to the ER, and after some drugs and a CT scan, found out I actually had kidney stones, 2 of them in my right kidney. And at the hospital, it looks like I passed 1 because it was showing up in my bladder. And then, yeah, so I still had 1 more in there. I actually go back next week. So actually, by the time you guys see this video, I've already had my follow-up CT scan. just to see if the other one's gone yet. But yeah, no fun. So I've been pounding the water and taking it a bit easier these past couple weeks just to try to get rid of this thing. So I just didn't want it to come back on a camping trip. That would have been pretty awful. Although I do have some of the medication they prescribed me, so. Any case, no fun. Yeah, getting older. I'm gonna be 41 next month. Lucky number 40. First time in the ER. Hope that's not an omen of things to come. All right, guys. I think I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here. I just got to go over that peak off in the distance, and then it's pretty much downhill the rest of the way to the car. So pretty easy sailing after that. Hopefully you liked the video. It was nice that I'm actually getting to see these views now that the fog has lifted. Really good night at camp. It's nice the winds calmed down, so I was able to get some sleep aside from the air mattress deflating every hour. But other than that, pretty good. So hopefully you liked the video. If you have any questions or comments, just leave them down below, and I'll catch you on the next one. Please like, share, get outside. Later. It does exist.